In this video, I'm going to be talking about balancing on the head and iron head training. And this is really advanced standing up straight practice because I'm standing up straight but simply upside down. And this is all about the spinal alignment. And here you can see if I get the alignment right, I can even bounce a strong force through my spinal alignment. So I'm going to be talking about this and explaining some of these things. Let's get on with the video. Hi there, and welcome to Body Efficiency Training. And this training is my own personal training method that is based on my understanding of body dynamics and Qi, the life force energy. And I've been training this stuff pretty much my whole life, always involved in some sort of body work, energy work, spiritual work, meditation. And I've had maybe 40 years of martial arts training and teaching. So I've done a lot of stuff, but I've been mostly interested in trying to understand what is behind it all. What are the secrets of this Qi? What are the fundamental principles of getting this Qi and understanding it? And I think I've made some interesting discoveries, and I have a new perspective that I haven't seen or heard anywhere before. So I do feel passionately that I ought to share it. So what is it that's different? What am I doing that's different? Well, I'm focusing on form rather than strength or power. So we can all do this straight away. Whatever exercises you do in the gym, you can reduce the weight a little bit and improve your form doing it. Do the exercise slowly and carefully and maintain control of your form as you do it. And you'll find that if you do this, your power and strength will increase just automatically. That is because a better form is more efficient. And of course, this is the approach of this training. My training is to become more efficient. So I'm not doing the exercise to work that particular muscle. I'm doing the exercise to work and improve my efficiency. And that comes from whole body connection. So for example, if I'm doing a pull down in the gym, I'm not just working the back muscles. I would first of all get my spine aligned properly, shoulders aligned, everything works in the right position. Then I would hold it under dynamic tension, so I'm holding that alignment, and only then, using the whole body, would I do the pull down. So I'm doing the same exercise, but a very different approach. And I only do it to the point where it feels nice. It should feel nice when you do it. It should feel good. I don't do it to the point of pain. The moment it feels painful, I stop. And in fact, I stop well before that. So that in itself is a different approach. It's not so much no pain, no gain, but no pain, more gain. And really my training has three parts to it. The first part is alignment. You've got to align your structure properly for whatever it is you're doing to activate whole body power. You want to integrate your body into a single unit using the bone structure, so it's the bones must lock together, and then you use that single unit of your whole body to do the thing you want to do. And then secondly is tension. We have to learn how to apply tension correctly to the body and in the right places. And then thirdly, relaxation. We also need to know how to relax, and that again is not as easy as it sounds. But all sorts of relaxation is part of this training, including sleeping. So if those of you out there feel like you need to sleep, very good, get on and sleep. Sleeping is part of this training, and it's a very efficient thing to do, sleeping. You recover much, much faster in sleep. And we'll talk about that more in time. But in today's video, I'm doing an advanced practice of the standing up straight position. So we've got to learn how to stand up straight. That's the very first principle of alignment. And it's an inherent principle we have. We all are able to do this, we're just not aware of it. But if we can stand up straight, get our spine in its correct S-curve, then our efficiency improves dramatically. The energy flows better, much, much better. And the spine, of course, is the core of our nervous system. And if the energy flows nicely through the spine, everything will flow easier from there. So standing up straight is the first, most basic thing we need to do. And the advanced practice of standing up straight is to stand upside down. So doing a handstand or doing a headstand. But I try to balance on my head. Now we've seen Shaolin masters can do this, they can balance on their head, and it's very, very impressive, and I'm trying to do that. So I've only managed maybe 3-5 seconds at the most. So I'm still only trying to do it. I haven't quite managed it really. But that doesn't matter. You see, it's the attempt that is important. Even if I get you see, the idea is if I get the right spinal alignment, I will be balancing on my head easily. So when I'm balancing on my head, I'm trying to get the correct spinal alignment and the alignment with the hips and the shoulders correct. And it will be identical to if I'm just standing up straight normally. Upside down or the right way up, the spine should be the same. So that's why I called it advanced standing up straight practice. And the fact that you wobble and fall over is fine, because the wobbling is training the muscles and tendons to catch you, and you want to strengthen all those postural muscles have got to be strengthened up. So wobbling and failing is fine. That's where the strength building comes in. That's where the training comes in. So it doesn't matter that I don't achieve it, I've got to try. But again, it's quite a difficult thing to do. You need to have a strong neck, so don't just go and try this. And in my early years of trying this, I got so many cricks in the neck all the time, I overdid it. But my neck is strong now and I'm careful now. But I don't do it for very long. I'm only really spending 5 minutes a week trying at the most. But what I'm trying to do is get the correct alignment. It's not so much I'm trying to balance on my head, I'm trying to get my spine aligned properly and my skull aligned on my spine. Let's have a look at the video and I'll talk you through it as we go along. Okay, so I'm starting off here by clicking out my thoracic and cervical spine right up to the base of my neck. So I'm making sure I've got no tension in those vertebrae in my spine, and I can feel that I'm going to have a nice alignment. And so then I start coming up into a headstand. And what I do is I'm trying to go straight away onto 2 fingers or 1 finger. So as little help as I can possibly get to try and balance straight away. And then off I go, I'll keep trying. But you see, what I'm trying to do is feel inside myself. I'm trying to feel my spine, and I'm trying to feel the alignment with my spine and my skull going into the ground. And I'm also trying to imagine that I'm standing upright. So I'm standing the right way up, and I'm trying to achieve the very same alignment that I would be doing if I was standing right way up. So I'm also trying to visualize that I'm standing on something. My feet in the air are standing on the sky. And I'm trying to feel that alignment from my feet all the way through to the crown of my head, going slightly forward from the crown of my head. And it's important to note, you see, there's still a curve in my lumbar. You'll see on the side-on ones, but there's still, the lumbar spine needs an arch in it. And you see that sometimes in young children, they've got a strong lumbar arch. The muscles in the lumbar should be strong, and that provides a good spring. So we do want an arch in a lumbar, but we've got to be careful that we don't overdo it. And the way we do that is you've got to pull in the front. You've got to pull in the TA muscle and the obliques. And now you see at the end here, I'm standing on my tippy toes. So this is another advanced standing up practice. I'm standing all the way up onto the very tip of my big toe. I've got to squeeze my toes tight. And now here you see I'm trying again, another inverted stance. So I'm trying to do the horse riding stance exactly as I would be doing standing on the ground, but inverted. So it's the same business. I'm trying to feel that I'm standing on the sky, I'm standing on something, and I'm locking out my legs, my toes, my ankles, my knees, my hips, locking out my spine, trying to get the exact right alignment and then balance on my head. And again, you see I only hold with 1 or 2 fingers, little as possible. So the secret is I'm trying to unify my body into a single unit. And if I could get that right, someone, a big person, could pick me up and turn me around and I'll be exactly the same standing the right way up. So the alignment, I'm concentrating on the alignment irrelevant to gravity. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, which way up I am, I've got to get the alignment right. And that comes only from the internal feeling. You've got to learn what it feels like when you're in the right alignment. And again, you see, standing on the head, when I'm in the right alignment, it just feels right. It feels nice. And when you don't have it quite right, you can feel pain here and there, and most in particular in the neck, of course. So now I'm trying to do it with hands at the sides. So stand up straight. Oh, there we go. I was doing prayer palm. But I try it in all different ways, trying to feel different alignments in an upside down position. And then also what I do, oh there you go, hands at the side. Yeah, and I also try legs apart, because that gives you a little bit more balance, and then practice pivoting at the waist and at the hips. And then also at the end I go into a handstand, but before I do the handstand, before I push up, I've got to get the spine aligned right, and I'm pushing up from the very rib cage to center mid-back. So I've got to pull in the stomach tight, pull everything tight, and I'm pushing from the very core of the spine itself. And only then do I push out to go into the handstand. Because it's very easy to push out just using your shoulders. It's too much work. Remember, everything I'm doing is not for the sake of doing it. I'm trying to improve my overall body efficiency. That means the whole body has got to be one single unit. And then I move from tension in my core outwards. And this set here, I do a little bit better. You see me balance a little bit longer. As I said, I think I've probably done maybe 3 seconds in the past at some point. Yeah, that was quite a good one. But in this one, I think you'll see me do the handstand that I was talking about. But you see, everything stems from the spinal alignment. Standing up straight comes from getting the S-curve in the spine right, and then finding the center line, i.e. the center line of gravity, which got to go through the S-curve down to the ground. So that is towards the back of your body. Your spine is towards the back. So that's why you've got to feel, it feels a little bit like you're leaning back. We're very used to leaning forwards, which is going slightly misaligned in the forward direction. So we always end up hunched over. So to counteract that, we've got to practice leaning slightly back. So it will feel odd until you understand, oh yeah, this does feel nicer actually. And there you saw the handstand, I'll jump up. Now I go into tippy toes. So again, very advanced standing up straight, projecting, locking out right to the tippy tiptoe of created tension in all my joints, right to the ball of the foot, scrunched up the toes and pointed it into the tip of the big toe. And then I'm trying to get the alignment all the way through the S-curve of my spine, up through the rib cage, get the head right and the hands right, and then I can balance. And I'm doing quite well here. It's a good long balance. But you can see there's an arch. There's got to be a dynamic tension. It's like a bow. Your spine is a bow. A complex bow is an S-curve bow. And here you can see a close-up now, just to show you. I'll do a better video in time so you can really see what I'm doing. But you can see that most of the pressure is on the very tip of the big toe. And now this is another interesting practice. I'm practicing the alignment of the spine in the same way as I'm doing the headstand or standing up straight. So you can see my spine is fairly vertical, but if you look from my knees back, I'm pushing forward. You see, so I'm taking the pressure from my hips and my ankles, but I'm not compromising the vertical S-curve of my spine. And now I've got the alignment, I'm slightly leaning forward, but now I'm bouncing through the alignment. So this is the iron head training. And there's another video you can see of me before breaking bricks on the head, and this goes together with this. So I'll put the link below and at the end of the video so you can see it. So it's a combination of getting the alignment to push the bag and then holding the alignment under dynamic tension to receive the blow. See, I must have an expansion in my joints as well as the correct alignment to be able to receive an impact. If I don't have an expansion, that impact is going to hurt me. But the expansion acts like a suspension. So the suspension bounces on impact, and it bounces all the way through the alignment to the ground. That's the key. So in this is the fundamental one, the S-curve of the spine. So the basic practice is standing up straight. Then you've got more advanced practice standing upside down. Still more advanced practice standing on tippy toes. And then you have this bouncing through the S-curve alignment, or iron head training. And here you can see in slow motion, you've got to try and watch for the bounce. And you should see I'm pushing from the ankles all the way through, and I'm receiving all the way through down to the ankles. My heels are not touching the floor. I'm using the Achilles tendon. Very, very important. We're going to talk a lot about that. But try and see the bounce. I push from the spring in the joints, and I receive from the spring in the joints in the correct alignment. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and see you again in the next video.